could have gotten down a little closer.
Cincinnati.
All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome live here to the Elite Sports Academy for this week's show, this week's edition of the DPPG Sports Show. My name is Devin Postlesny. Sitting alongside me over here is Mr. Michael Foley. Welcome back.
Good evening.
I was going to say I'll be nice.
Happy to be back.
He's been gone for a month and a half.
I didn't get any sun, so I was trying.
And then over here is Mr. Dan Kernan. Guys, first of all, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as
Hopefully
well.
you guys are all having a great New Year here so far. What is it, 2 days in? Day and a half?
It's tough.
My goodness. Already.
Rough start so far. 50 degrees here in New Hampshire in January. I mean, no complaints at all.
2024 will be my year. We're off to a good start. Anyways, so this week, or this show, we want to talk about last week's holiday tournament in Guilford, as well as touch on the hockey tournament that Belmont Guilford hosted, and then talk about what's coming up this week here on DPPG, although it's a very late week, but it'll still be awesome. So without further ado, let's talk about this holiday tournament. It's 18 games. Laconia and Guilford both made it to the finals, and Laconia beat Guilford by 1 point in the girls' game, and then Guilford did what Guilford does and beat Laconia 64-48 in the boys' game. You were at the Farmington tournament, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But for you were actually at the game working for us.
I was there.
So take,
Working.
I was. I was sitting at this booth by myself. He made sure to take a shot.
I was gonna say he was security guard, making sure nobody slid into it. There was a ball or two.
There was one.
There's a mark on here somewhere that a ball hit.
Yeah,
but it's all good.
It was a good tournament. I mean, you got two. Obviously the Lakes region, so they're all local. But Laconia is close. Guilford obviously is hosting. It could have really gotten out of hand rather quickly because the Guilford girls team scored 3 points in the second quarter. They were down by 15 or 16 going into the second half, and Jordan and I talked about, at halftime, some of the things that Scott Currier over at Guilford needed to address at halftime to his team was basically like, hey, if you can just make some layups and stop turning the ball over and allowing Laconia free range and turning it into a track meet, you could kind of chip away at it and get it to, 8 or 9 points going into the fourth, and we can have a competitive championship game. And it was exactly what happened. Guilford chipped away, just cut down some of the costly turnovers that had hurt him in the first half. And I don't necessarily know if Laconia had put on a coast mode a little bit or not, but the second half of that game was extremely competitive to the point where that's what you want a championship for anything to be, or a game in general. And those are some big pressure free throws that Swarmstead had to hit to win that. Guilford at that point in the game realistically probably should have pulled off the upset They should have finished off the full-on comeback.
But then they committed the foul with a couple seconds to go, and that was the moment that Swarmstead just
they had a chance. I mean, if there was a little bit more time, Guilford probably could have gotten off a decent shot at the end. But it's early. I mean, they've played 4 or 5 games. You don't want to peak right now. There's some stuff that both of these teams will take out of it going into the second half of their season, starting this week, I'm sure. But it was all in all, it was a really good girls' championship game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and like I had mentioned, and I don't know if you caught any of the highlights or saw anything through us, but yeah, a couple, sorry, it's kind of shameless plug there.
I'm waiting for some highlights to be shown shown through.
Wait a minute, you want me to do what?
I know, right?
You want me to do some extra work here?
You should have just clipped them as they were like, we can show her hitting these 2 free throws to end the game.
Let me see if I have the instant
now
replays
you're
here.
going to do the legwork. I see.
Oh no, it's nothing. Oh well, hold on a minute. I got something.
He's been here for 45 minutes waiting for us, and he couldn't clip.
I got here.
He's a busy guy.
I got here at 3:30, I think it was. So it's been
He's got a big week ahead of him.
Yeah, busy guy. Even though
one of the very few who are going to get on a Southwest flight and actually get to go where they're going.
Must be nice.
But no, I mean it. Yeah, are you okay over there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, we can get you out on Friday. Well, let's be back on that. No, I mean, it was an exciting game. I mean, all the way to the end. We had in the booth myself, Jordan, and Randy, who was the
Randy Eifert, yeah.
Yep, Randy Eifert. He was the official, or our rules analyst. That's what we were calling it. So
he's your Gene Steratore.
He was, yeah.
And it was awesome because, just from the broadcast standpoint, it was exciting because you had me doing the play-by-play who couldn't get a sentence out. Jordan, who knew what he would. I know.
Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
Jordan was doing a great job, and Randy was as well, and it was exciting. And then we threw it over to you and Jordan at the halftime and the pregame, and that was fun. Yeah. But no, I mean, the game itself was great, and it was exciting because it was, at first, like you had said, it was Laconia was taking off, and then Guilford just tracked them down.
Yeah, I had actually reached out to a couple of buddies of mine and was like this, and I'll claim it. I wrote blowout. The way it was going, like Laconia was winning the track meet. They were pushing the ball up the floor. They were hitting threes. They were getting every rebound. Guilford couldn't get up a shot. It would be constantly travel or turnover, like anything that Laconia wanted to do in that first half, they were able to do at will. And the second half, it was a little bit not necessarily chippy. The fans on both sides weren't happy. I mean, but like we had talked about in the pre-show, officiating doesn't cost her, at any point. Right. And the officials that were there were 3 really, really good, varsity officials for that game. So it wasn't like it was.
Did they run a 3-man system?
They did run a 3-man system for the final.
For the semis and the finals.
Nice.
Yeah. And it was the girls' one has.
Spare no expense at Guilford.
Exactly. Yeah. When they have all those championship banners, they can afford three official systems.
Oh, my God.
But, I mean, they had 3 really good. They had both boys and girls. Both had, really good officials for both of those games, and I think it was more noticeable in the boys' game that the fans were a little bit unruly at times. It was kind of embarrassing to sit there and hear some of the stuff that was being shouted at the officials from the crowd.
Wow!
And it's tough. It's a high school game that, not that it doesn't mean anything, but it's an exhibition game that doesn't affect your schedule whatsoever. Mm-hmm. And we can all sit right here. 2 of us are coaches. I bet you Acalano isn't talking to the guys and be like, all right, well, we won the Lakes Region tournament at home, so let's just we're good. We don't want the one that matters at the end, So when we sit here and say a game that doesn't necessarily matter, like Guilford's got their eyes on a bigger prize.
Sure.
As does Laconia in Division 2. They're going to be they're a tough team as well. So just to see that part from the crowd to some of the officials, I was sitting there and I was like, this is just kind of gross.
Yeah, I mean, we were sitting in the Laconia side. Like, we weren't in our normal top, press box, skybox type spot. And there were points where I was looking at Randy at one point. He was just kind of like making eyebrows. Like, he was like, did that just get said? Like, it was, I mean, it was passion. That's what we're calling it. It's passionate. People being passionate. And I know from
there's a line.
I was going to
There's
say,
a line.
Exactly.
as you guys are sitting here going, well, there's
and
passion.
it was on both sides.
Where's
it wasn't
the
like
athletic director? Oh wait,
he's on the far. He was
He's
on the far
court.
side. Yeah,
He's on the court.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, it was from both teams. So, and like, obviously, I was tucked down on the other end, so I couldn't hear everything. But like, where you had your area mic on like both the Laconia side and the Guilford side, like, I had my headphone on just so I could kind of talk to the guys as the game was going on and like listen to the broadcast, and you could hear stuff from the bleachers, and it's just like,
ouch.
And I remember what it's like to be in my early 20s or teenager at games in high school and supporting
like five years ago.
And supporting my friends and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I understand and remember what that's like. But at the same time, it's like you still got to remember where you're at. Like,
right. No, I mean, for sure. It definitely, at one point, I won't specify what team, but I saw one of the parents or even a fan or whatever, a fan or parent or brother or whatever, stand up and was like 10 feet away from the official and was like cursing at them. Like, it was just like, whoa. Like,
it was pretty brutal. I was a little bit shocked.
And for, and I get it, like, it's a championship game and an exhibition game, like, that's pretty, like, bragging rights are on the board, but there's nothing more than that. You're getting a plaque. That's it. It's not like a state championship.
Nope.
It's
and
not.
Realistically, good for the official to
just ignore it.
To basically ignore it. Like Randy had said, like, he doesn't acknowledge the crowd for the most part.
Right.
As most officials do, they don't acknowledge the crowd unless you hear that magic word.
Yeah.
And there were a few. I'm not saying it. There were a few that were said, but the one wasn't. So I think that's kind of like what allowed the official to not really do or say anything. But for him to just kind of like refocus on the game and get back, like continue with his officiating in a 3-man system. I mean, you could have in theory gone over and addressed it, but he just kind of just kept going, and which is good. You don't want, as any official, you don't want to basically
single anybody out.
You don't want to single anybody out, but you don't want to make it about you either.
Right? No.
You're just there to do the thing. At that, realistically,
you can, if it's to that level and it's to that point, you just simply stop the game. It's a technical foul and it's a bench technical.
Yeah.
To the home team, and that's it.
Yep. Which would have been really unfortunate for one team, if it's a fan from the other team getting popped for the home team, but you're still in charge of your
gym
facility at that point.
But you can as an official, you can just stop the game and say, "You sir are leaving,
Yep.
and if you're not, we're not stepping on the court until this person's
exactly."
out."
And we had something like that happen at Prospect this fall, and one of the officials basically we stopped the game.
Yeah.
The official basically was like, I need to know, like, of course, Corey wasn't there, so he had somebody else in charge.
Corey was there for our game. We had the same thing, though.
Did you?
Yeah.
And so he stopped the game, and the police officer actually had to come down and get the fan out of there.
Wow.
Because the fan didn't want to leave. Wow. He told the official, he's like, worry about the game. I'm doing whatever I want. And so we sat there for probably, like, I don't know, 3 minutes or so, like, just enough to, like, recover from what was going on. Like, obviously from where we are, you can't hear or see anything that's going on. But, like, when the official turns and yells to the crowd, like,
I wonder if we had the same official.
We probably did, realistically, because, I mean, I've seen it 1, 2, maybe 3 times in 8 years. It's so few and far between in either sport, really. So it's just one of those things that we sit here as coaches, and obviously you're an official in the winter, and there's a shortage.
Yeah.
Like, there are eventually going to be games that are unplayable because we don't have officials.
Right.
And then you have to go, then you have the guys that are, doing it for the fun, like Randy said. Like, they just enjoy the sport enough to want to officiate it.
And to get exercise. And
to get exercise. But at the same time, like, you don't want to go and get ridiculed for what, $80?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not worth it anymore. And eventually those numbers that are already small now are going to dwindle.
Getting smaller.
And what's going to happen? The D3s and 4s of the world are going to get the shaft because Concord, Bishop Girton, Portsmouth, the D1, D2s will all take precedent over everything else. And will then turn into, like, coaches officiating
It's a good time.
You know, and it's going to
It's a
be
good time.
it's going to be one of those things where you and I are standing in the middle of a pitch
We'd
trying
actually
to,
enjoy it.
you know, yeah, exactly. The guys wouldn't complain about a call, that's
No.
for sure. They would just get right back up and go in after it.
I was gonna say I've seen this one officiate a soccer game. You don't leave that center circle. Just saying.
No, why?
Just saying. Granted, it was a night game and an
Call,
exhibition.
call your own offsides.
My current players versus my alumni. There are no fouls.
No, never. Exactly.
No.
I do the same thing in practice. I mean, there's never a foul. If I want to work on something, sure, I'll call one fictitiously. But there are days where you're just like, all right, I want everything to go against us.
Yep.
Like if I'm running a drill and it's against our JV guys and we're up numbers, I don't want our varsity guys to just basically throttle. I want them to have to deal with some adversity. No,
Right.
that was a foul. No, this isn't our throwing. It's the other team. Like going,
Yep.
because all games are going to be like that,
Right.
regardless of the sport you're coaching. So,
Right.
it-
Exactly.
But that's the thing, like to sit there and listen to some of the crowd, and it happened at Guilford. I'm sure it happened at Farmington. I'm sure it happened at any other school and any other sport. Like it was just, we were there, so we can talk about it. It's rough, and I wasn't always the easiest on officials when I first started, but now it's just like you pick your spots but you still have to do it in a courteous way.
right.
And I thought those three that officiated, obviously the girls' game was a little more mellow as it was closer, but the boys' game, I thought those three guys handled that extremely well.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that environment too was like, not to seem like I'm defending the fan, but maybe the official didn't hear it because the gym was loud.
Oh, it was packed,
like,
yeah.
and it was awesome. I mean, there was a point, and actually, I don't. That wouldn't be defending a fan, but I'm just saying in general, like it was great because it was awesome for an environment, but maybe they just didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Well, it benefited the entire tournament that Guilford and Laconia, both boys and girls,
Right.
were in
Right.
that. So that basically you had your boys teams are supporting the girls at the end of the game, and then your girls teams come off, and you're now supporting your boys teams in the tournament, and you have a little bit of fan turnover, but for the most part, both
Towns.
both bleacher areas are
Stayed.
full
Yeah.
of people,
Yeah.
which is what you want. Which is what you want in a tournament. It makes it easier for everybody.
Right.
The hard part for me is the Laconia-Guilford game was a little bit close for boys at halftime. A little bit.
A little bit.
Like it was what, 10 or
5 point
12?
difference.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it was
like a 5.
it was close.
It's like 28-23 or something like that. Like it was.
But then like the second half wasn't close.
No, that's typical Guilford.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Like Guilford does that almost every game. Like and whether he does it on purpose or not, it's always like close at half, and then the third quarter they gap, and then the fourth quarter they're just gone.
Yeah.
Well, and unfortunately, I mean, Laconia they have the Beck kid who's huge. He's a big kid. He's probably like, 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". He's big. He's huge.
He's tall.
He got into foul trouble early first quarter, came back in the second quarter. I don't think he picked anything up. But to start the third quarter, it was bang, bang, third, fourth.
Right.
Yeah.
It was-
You're
yeah.
done.
And
done.
you got to come out to give yourself the best chance. But once you take out that big body,
Yeah.
you have the two Reese kids, Sam Cheek, and I'm probably missing 2 or 3 other guys that are just going to feast down
Yeah.
low. And Laconia has some size, but once you lose Beck, you're not going to be able to control the paint, and that's what happened.
Right.
Is Guilford basically just drove to the basket, and it was layup, 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 layup. And when they finally did shut down the layup, it was a wide open 3 that the Guilford then cashed in, and before you know it, it's a 15, 18, 20-point lead, and you're looking at the end of the bench, and the Beck kid can't come in because he's going to pick up foul 5.
Right.
So it was just one of those, like, Guilford has a lot of depth.
Yeah.
They have a lot of experience. They're going to, I don't know. I've seen Belmont boys play. They're good, too. They have size. They've got a little bit of depth, but they're also a little younger still. Guilford's really good.
Yeah.
They're a really, really good team, and I don't know if there's anybody who can compete with that.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I was going to
We'll find
say
out.
we're going to be
the
covering that game too. so.
The second half of the season
Yeah, it's gonna be-
for everybody. You mean even the girls' game? The girls for both Laconia and Guilford are good.
Yeah.
Like, that was a competitive game. We know that Guilford girls was a little sloppy in the first half, and they probably played a little closer to their potential in the second half to make it competitive. But, Laconia girls are going to be there. Guilford girls are going to make the playoffs. They're solid. They're a competitive team. It's going to be the same for boys. I mean, the Laconia boys team is, as Joey would messaged me as I was doing pregame. He says that's the best boys team they've had in a long time.
Nice.
So if that's one of the better ones they've had in a long time, I mean, they've had some pretty solid squads. So I would be shocked if they're not, looking more towards not just making the playoffs in the first round game. They want a second quarterfinal, Final Four push.
Yep.
Right.
So that'll be the second half for basketball in this area. It's going to be similar to what the fall was with soccer between you guys, Guilford, Laconia was competitive in Division II. Like there's going to be some good. Yep. There should be some decent playoff runs coming out of the Lakes region. And
Belmont boys play at Guilford next Tuesday, the 10th. So that's literally next week.
Yeah,
but
a
also
week from tomorrow.
Yeah, it's insane. Crazy.
Circle that on your calendar.
Oh yeah, and if you can't be there,
DPPG's got you.
DPPG's got you.
You know who might be available?
Josh Marzal
Yeah.
and Michael Foley, or just Josh?
Well,
are you speaking for Josh? Or?
No. I assumed you wanted Josh, but
you got this.
I'm not reffing next week. So.
Do you have the schedule up right there? Are Interlakes playing at all? Because I would much rather go watch that game.
Hang on. The 10th. Let's see. If not, you can just put it on your phone. You guys are hosting Berlin.
We got Berlin. I mean,
how about this? I'll give you one of these.
I know. I'll probably
and then
I'll
you
be
can just
watching.
put it on your.
What time is it? 6 o'clock start?
Yeah, both of them are 6.
All right, yeah, I'll be watching. I'll be watching for sure.
I'll just get a text. That was not a call.
I mean,
you missed the book.
Don't get me wrong. I enjoy the North Country. Right. There'll be a handful of those guys on that Berlin team that I know from either baseball, soccer, or whatnot. So I'll be chatting with them. And obviously it's a boys' game, so I've got some soccer and baseball guys on it as well.
Yeah,
but everyone's going to be tuned in to Guilford Belmont. Absolutely,
it's going to be a game.
Yeah, I mean it should be very, very competitive.
I'm excited for that one because that's definitely that's a rivalry. The two schools are rivals regardless of the sport, unless they're hockey or football. But
it's just hockey now.
Right.
Just hockey now.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. But either way, it's exciting. That'll be a good one.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely will.
Hopefully Southwest doesn't mess up my flight coming home on Saturday.
They won't.
Could you imagine? I'm coming in Tuesday morning. We got this.
You could do that.
We got
Easy,
this.
Easy, yeah. You'll have all your stuff with you anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Just drive right from the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. No, but it was definitely a great tournament overall. That first day had Laconia girls versus Prospect girls, and it was a close game up to half. I mean, I think Laconia beat them by only 11, and that kind of shifted the conversation to Prospect being a Division III girls team that everyone's going, ooh, wait a minute.
They blew us out.
Yeah.
We played them, the Wednesday or Thursday before Christmas break.
Yes.
They beat us by 40.
I was going to say, we were there.
They beat us by a lot. And that's a team we have talked about that only has, 7 or 8 girls? 9 girls in their entire school, entire program.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And one of the Prosper Mountain starters got hurt early on in our game, in a girls' game for Interlakes. I don't know if she was back for...
I was going to say, Thoroughgood didn't play in the tournament.
I don't know
if
she was.
Assuming it was
I couldn't tell you who it was, but I didn't know if she was back for the tournament or not. And where you're already limited numbers, so they were short a starter fairly early into the girls' game against Interlakes at our place, and they still took care of business.
Wow.
Yeah.
So for them to handle Laconia for Division II, that's athletic, quick, can shoot. That says something about Prospect Mountain going into the second half of the season.
I was going to say definitely that was and granted, the argument could be made. Oh, Laconia wasn't playing at full strength, whatever, because it's a holiday tournament. But still, to have only 11 lose by 11, that's a talking point and something definitely to keep an eye on Prospect going forward.
Realistically, with winter sports in general, when you sign up years and years ago, you're under the impression you're going to be playing over Christmas or New Year's holiday. It's just one of those things that most tournaments give you Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and the day after generally.
Right.
And then you start like 27, 28, 29, 30 so that you have a little bit. I know there's always some families that just go away anyway.
Right.
But for the most part, you're usually having, most families are like, all right, well, my son or daughter plays hoops. we'll be back for the day after Christmas
That's where we
because
are.
that's what we're doing, you know.
Yeah.
But
Exactly. No, it should be exciting to see how Prospect does going forward. Winnisquam's another one who I think is going to be a Division III girls team or team to watch because you got Lauren McDonald and Philippi who are playing. I don't even remember what the final score was against Laconia, but they played Laconia and it wasn't.
that was in
horrible.
what, the semifinal?
Yeah. Hang on.
And they're another one that's short
Yeah,
girls
they only
program.
have 12 girls in their whole program.
So it's not just the fall sports.
No, and it's not like there's a whole lot to choose from.
Right.
Like, at least in the fall, I mean, between boys and girls soccer, cross country, football, golf, like volleyball, like there's a lot to choose from in the fall. Winter, you've got
Ski racing, boys and basketball,
and then you've got like
track.
some schools have indoor track, but like you don't really have a lot. It's basketball, hockey, skiing,
Wrestling for some schools.
Yeah, like Belmont doesn't have wrestling, do they?
Nope.
I think the only does Guilford have it?
No.
Really?
Winnisquam's the only.
Winnisquam,
Lakes
Laconia,
Laconia doesn't have wrestling. I don't think.
They got rid of it?
Yeah, I don't think they have wrestling.
I thought they
No.
did for a while.
They
Plymouth
did
does.
for a while. Plymouth does.
Plymouth
but
definitely does.
Yeah, so I think Plymouth and Winnisquam
Winnisquam.
are your two major ones.
But that's not
Yeah.
surprising. But like
Right.
winter is always so small. And then once you get into spring, things open back up again and you've got
Yeah.
one
So-
kid having to pick between 5 sports.
Winnisquam only lost to Laconia in the semis by 15 points.
Only.
Well, you know what I mean.
I do.
Could
I
be
do.
like 40.
That's
Gotcha.
that's not a terrible score considering they're probably short depth and Laconia is good. Laconia is that's a solid girls team, not just this year, but the last handful of years, 5, 6, 7. I mean, you've done middle school
done a lot.
officiating to know like
Yeah,
how
the girls,
good they are.
Laconia girls have been
Oh, an
solid,
absolute powerhouse.
Solid for years.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. So it's not shocking to see it translate from middle school to high school.
Right. They ran into some issues for a few years where I know a number of those girls who were in 8th grade who were phenomenal players.
Then they go to private school.
They go to prep, and you go, all right, well,
One of them is crushing it at Plymouth State right now.
nice,
Absolutely crushing it.
nice.
Who-
The who's same different school but same issue was Franklin. Those
Yeah.
they had some amazing girls come through there, and just
They get vultured.
yep.
They get vultured, and it not. I don't want to say vultured because that makes it seem like they're getting picked out of there, and it's not their choice.
Right.
They're
they're
leaving.
choosing.
They're
They-
choosing to
Yep.
to get out of there to go and to get that other experience that's better than where they were.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no fault to that of their own. That's just a culture thing over there. It's unfortunate because when I first started coaching and when I was in high school, that Franklin team, regardless of sport, obviously soccer, they've been down for years,
Yep.
but baseball, basketball, football, all of them, competitive, Final Four, they've won some championships.
Yep.
And now they're in Division IV and everything because their lack of competitiveness.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate enough for what's going on because there's such a rich pride there.
Yep.
That
Yeah, there
they
is.
used to be so competitive for years and years and years. And I remember talking to Dan Sylvester a few years ago when we were in that COVID bubble, like regional schedule. And he said that there was a time that they would play, I think it was Bishop Brady, and they were playing him in field hockey. And like 7 of the 11 starters for Bishop Brady all lived in Franklin.
Oh, jeez.
And he's like, I just don't want to play them anymore because it's not fair for the girls who are still here in Franklin to get basically beat and destroyed by
Their friends.
girls and
Their
friends,
neighbors.
neighbors and stuff like that. He's like,
Yeah.
we just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like it's the same kind of thing. Like you don't have that, like where Laconia has a lot of, they still have that success with the girls who stay.
Yep.
And then Franklin hasn't gotten that same
Right.
hook, but it's two different situations. Obviously, it just happens a whole lot more at Franklin.
Right.
I mean, and it's unfortunate because it's also like, and we've talked about this before on the show, that cycle of, well, I don't want to play for a team that doesn't win. Okay, well, now more people think that, well, why is the team not winning? Because they don't have people.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden it's just like, you need to have that core group of middle schoolers that have come up and they're like, we're going to play no matter what, and then all of a sudden the program looks good. And it's tough.
We deal with this all the time, but it's just the idea that programs ebb and flow.
Yeah.
And, when you look, like when I look at my middle school program and, my middle school program wins the Guilford Middle School Soccer Tournament. And for a lot of those kids, that's a launching pad for a lot of them coming into high school.
Yeah.
And then you go 4 years later, they're all like, yeah, but we won in
middle school.
Grade.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, but everybody grew up.
Exactly.
And you gotta, it's what we deal with,
all the time. And it's funny that you mentioned that because I've been now 7 or 8, and we've had a couple of middle school teams that have won that tournament.
Yep. And
by senior year, they're like, they're still talking about that time they beat Guilford when they were 12, 12, 13, 14. It's like, cool, man. Like, that's great. And I'm really glad for you. But at what point are we going to do that when you're 16, 17, or 18?
Yeah.
Right. And we're in the same boat. Like, we try to make our programs kind of like flow so that as soon as you come in as freshmen, you kind of like know what the transition is going to be. And so it's funny that you mentioned that because, like, we're in two totally different places.
Right.
Because your middle school team was competitive, really good, strong, and we're at Interlakes, we're dealing with a little bit of a power struggle because we just created middle school football 3 years ago. Mm-hmm. So where you guys are getting out of football, haven't ever really had the threat of losing some of your more skilled athletes to football. We have been absolutely just crushed by it.
Right.
And where we used to have 2 teams, 30 kids, playing time was a little bit of an issue for middle school. I mean, we're bringing up 6th graders, and we have 13 kids, if that.
Wow.
And so we're in that, we're not competitive. We're not.
Yeah.
And so this year where I graduated 6 in the fall, 7, I think, with our foreign exchange, and maybe 8 with one graduating early. I can tell you right now, there's maybe 1 incoming freshman.
Wow.
There was only 3 8th graders. One of them's already going to a prep school.
Holy
like his mom works there.
Yeah.
So like it's just writing on the wall that they're going to go there. So I mean, 2 or 3 years from now, we might be recovering. But when we talk about that ebb and flow, I mean, this year, you guys graduated 40 kids in like a 2.5 year span.
Yeah.
I mean, so
we took a hit.
Yeah,
we took a hit for a while.
Those teams you had, I mean, you were graduating full squads.
Yeah.
That were basically, it was like what, Sotec and like 2 others that were on the team that were sophomores at the time. Like,
oh no.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, shucks. But then it's just a reload. Like, you had another team of 11 seniors that were just stepped in and ready to go. And then this year, you're graduating a little less and a little less.
I'm going to graduate 8, 9 with my exchange student.
Yeah.
And then, we'll be. But I've like we've talked, I have a nice group of middle schoolers coming in.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we missed the year before.
Yeah.
Didn't have a lot of kids coming in. You're coming out of COVID.
We're still, and a lot of schools are still dealing with that same COVID bubble because you had those 2 years where you just weren't doing anything.
Right.
There was no outlet for athletics whatsoever.
But there was no expectation for younger kids to be doing anything, and it's taken 2 years to kind of reload those brains to say, you probably should be doing something. And with success, you get kids walking through the hall now going, I haven't played in 2 years, but I'm coming next year. And I'm like,
we'll take
look,
it. When you had 11 at the first day of tryouts, we'll take anybody we can get. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, and that's what I was saying earlier, not to cut you off, but, that's what I was saying, where all of a sudden you're having this success and people are going, wait, can I play on this same team next year?
Yep.
And but I mean, to what you just said about the middle school issue at Interlakes with football, you should have the opposite effect in theory next year
We didn't have a middle school
Belmont
program.
Well, no, but
for
I'm saying,
football.
Okay, good point.
Well, and they didn't, and I couldn't talk on this, and you can probably talk on it better. For the majority of the time that it's been Belmont or Guilford Belmont football, there hasn't been that many Belmont kids that went over there.
I mean, it's 4 this year for
it's
Belmont.
similar. It's
5 or
similar
6,
to ours with Moultonborough. I think this year was a larger number, but for the most part, since we co-opted with Moultonborough to be at a varsity level for football, I think the most that Moultonborough's ever sent over is like 9.
Yeah.
9 or 10.
Yeah.
And that was in our peak years when we were really good.
Those first 4 years that Belmont, Guilford were together in football, that was the largest group of kids. And the only reason why I so vividly remember it is because I only had 2 seniors when that group of kids graduated. All those other kids,
were all football
kids, and which was fine.
Yeah.
But it was one of those, then once that group of guys
once that
graduated,
bubble leaves,
then it became now you've got to continue to feed that program.
and those that group was probably a larger component of pushing to get onto a co-op.
100%.
And so once that kind of group leaves, if you don't have your hook in some of the younger guys to follow through with it, then you're in that situation where you guys are in, where now it's not necessarily feasible for Belmont to go play over there anymore. Like, it does it hurt anybody? No.
It's gonna. There's
gonna be a few.
There's one kid.
Who
played a lot, and he's a talent.
Yeah.
And you kind of go. I feel bad for him because it's that. But he understood. He knew he's like.
And that going in when you're one of 3 or 4 kids that this is a possibility. I mean, we're in year 1 of this 2-year cycle, so it's not like Guilford can go down into Division 3 next year for football.
Right.
So they still have to go into Division 2 again.
Yeah.
And then they can be considered a Division 3 team the following cycle if they want, but they're still large.
Right.
Like they might still tuck into that tail end of Division 2, so you're not carrying the Belmont student body anymore.
Right.
But at the same time, like, you lost 1 game this year. What are you going to do next year?
Right.
What's your definition going to be to go down?
Right.
Other than the fact that, we're not carrying Belmont anymore.
Right.
I mean, we were in the same boat when we were, when we went to 2 championships in a row and we were blowing everybody out. And then they reshuffled football again for like the 10th time in 15 years. And we went up and we were getting throttled.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, we should go down, we should go down, we should go down. It's like, no, you beat every team by 35, 40 points. If you didn't want to go up, don't beat teams that bad.
Right.
And you'll stay where we should have stayed to be competitive. But like this year, we went to a Final Four.
Yep.
We were competitive in some games. We were competitive against Monadnock, and we lost to Trinity in the playoffs. Like, so I mean, that football program is thriving back to the good days. I know Paul Levine is gone, so Interlakes is looking for another football coach. But I mean, football had 40 kids this past fall. Middle school had another 40 kids.
Yeah.
Like, football's thriving.
Yeah.
I'll be fortunate to have a JV team next fall. But I mean, talking about programs that are doing better, I have no idea how many baseball kids we'll have this spring.
Right.
I've already had 3 or 4 come out and they're like, yeah, we're going to play next year. I haven't seen them at a workout yet, but like they're like, yeah, I'm coming out. I'm coming out. I'm like, all right.
Proof is in the pudding.
Exactly.
Right.
We'll see you March 19th or whatever it is.
Yeah. Well, way to get way off topic. I just realized that.
It's a short show.
We start with holiday tournament, and it's like, let's talk about Guilford
What were
Belmont
you talking
football.
about?
It's, just the idea of what it's like for a lot of these schools that are dealing with the whole premise was about small numbers.
Right.
And it's not just the winter sports; it's all sports.
Well, and
dealing with
as a coach, it makes it's a good thing because you don't have a playing time issue.
Nope.
You can kind of have a closer knit group as opposed to if you're carrying 20.
Right.
I mean, obviously, if you're carrying 20, kids 15 through 20 don't necessarily feel the same value as kids 1 through 13. So you have a little bit. It's only a struggle with kids who get sick.
Right.
Or if you have like a really, like we talked about profile, having a really lack of depth.
Yep.
Then you're in that boat where you're like, oh, man, I really wish we had 15, but you can only do with what you have.
Right.
Right.
And so it's, everyone's in the same boat with Division 3, 4. for the most part.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Well, here, real quick, before we go any further, if anybody's watching on Facebook Live or YouTube Live, feel free to drop a comment. I see we got a couple people watching on those platforms, so feel free. And also, feel free to jump in there if you have any comments or any thoughts like that.
Hey.
So much enthusiasm from that end of the table.
Sorry.
Hey. Anyways, so before we
What's
talk,
up?
before we talk hockey, tell us your very rough recap of the Farmington tournament.
Rough recap. All right.
Throw them on the
I don't
spotlight.
like.
That's
Well,
what
I don't
I'm
like
saying.
to.
Like,
I
here we
don't
go.
like to talk much. So,
Oh well,
but it's one of those.
folks, sit back, relax.
back.
We got an hour and a half in front of us.
There we go. I went to the championship game. I didn't get to any of the other games prior
Slacker.
to that, and I was supposed to be in Florida. Thank you, Southwest.
We kept bringing that up.
Yeah. And
Tonight's sponsor,
not
Southwest.
Southwest.
No.
Right.
Come on.
But no, they Belmont boys, won their tournament over in Farmington against a superb team from Profile. They had a couple kids on that team who could just flat out play. Their Profile's point guard, this kid's name is Josh Roby. During the championship game, scored his 1,000th point. He's a junior.
Oh, boy.
Oh my.
So-
He started as an 8th grader, I'm sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
But the kid can shoot. I just watching. My wife and I are watching warm-ups, and I'm like, had no idea who the kid was. I was like, look at this kid sitting in the corner. He's just shooting threes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 in a row. Missed one, come back. 10 in a row. Missed one, come back. 12 in a row. And
Manage
you're like,
expectations on that 11th toss.
but Belmont very aware of the kid and what he could do, and the game was kind of a blowout for Belmont early. Profile made a game of it. Part of the blowout early was just the aspect that Belmont's defense on the Roby kid was phenomenal. My MVP of the tournament would have gone to Sam Raposa, who I can't tell you the amount of work this kid did to do his best to shut this kid down. And the kid still scored 17 points.
Jeez.
So, and Raposa, gave up his offensive game just to play defense on this kid. And my Lord, what a job he did on that. The tourney MVP went to Anakin Underhill. Had a strong game. I think he finished with 18. Keegan Martinez finished with 17. The thing I point out about Keegan and Anakin is they're not shooting threes. They do all the dirty work underneath the boards. If Keegan goes up, puts up a shot and misses, it's Anakin who's coming down with the rebound and vice versa. So they get a lot of, I call them garbage points, but they're in the right place, right spot every
They're
time.
doing a lot of the work that.
They're working hard.
Yeah, I mean they're down
It's
low,
hard.
block to block. I mean
Yeah.
they're both sophomores, right?
Yep.
And they're both have a lot of size.
Yep.
And you in this day and age of basketball, you don't see that.
No.
All of those anybody who and we've seen you can count on the same thing. Like you
Yeah.
can see bigs that should absolutely dominate, never touch foot in the paint.
Right.
Like you can go have 35 points in the first half because you can
Coach,
just
I can shoot the three.
exactly you can catch the ball, chin it, and still lay it in, and the next guy is at your elbows trying to get up there.
Yep.
And as somebody who just does the clock for games, it drives me absolutely crazy when the kid who's 6'6", who could touch the rim without jumping, is at the 3-point line trying to do his best Steph Curry. And I'm just like, dude, go get 30 down low.
So-
Go be the number one scorer in Division III, and to see the Martinez kid and Anakin go and do that like dirty work
Yep.
down there is something that's gonna help Belmont down the road.
Yeah, most definitely. They played. They really did play a great game. The Rashawn kid, who's a freshman, kid comes off the bench and is just electric.
He's good.
He's fast.
he's really good.
He makes things happen for that team. But at the end of the day, Belmont came out on top. Profile made it a close game. at the end, and then So I think going into the second half for Belmont, and again that the test, and I'm sure they've all circled it on their calendars. It's Guilford. And
absolutely.
Regardless of the sport, for us, it's always okay. When do we play Guilford? All right. Okay, let's. That's what we're prepping for.
Right.
But I think with this team, they haven't lost a game yet this year. They're dominating the games they should dominate. They won a couple of really hard physical games prior to the Christmas tournament. They beat a really tough Co-Brown team during the tournament. All that stuff matters, obviously, moving forward for them into the second half of the season.
Yeah.
So it was a fun tournament. It was a fun game to go and watch. And
Yeah.
And while you were talking, I looked up Moultonborough's schedule because obviously they're 5 minutes from me. They're not far at all.
Right.
They host Profile on the 17th. I have no games. I will be at that game.
I'm
I want to
telling you,
see. I want to see that kid and see how. I mean, obviously Profile will probably blow them out, but I want to at least go and see how good that Profile kid is, who can just absolutely fill it up.
Kid can shoot. The other kid from Profile, I had to look up his name. Alex Leslie. He's number 21. Strong body, probably 6'1", but my God, they just fly. The whole team defensively swarms everything. It was really a fun game to watch just because they didn't have much coming off the bench. I think, as I told you guys before the game, they subbed a kid in, and I swear the kid was in 8th grade. And I apologize. I'm sure he's a freshman, but he just looked really young. I'm really old, so therefore
You heard it.
I can admit it. I can admit it. But it's just one of those. It's one of those things that you look at a team. They had another kid on that team who you looked at his shot, and it's such an awkward shot. But Belmont left the kid open 2-3 times, drained all the threes he could take.
Jeez.
And but again, it was fun. Some huge defensive stuff. Again, Anakin was named the MVP.
Yep.
Sam Raposa was named to the Alternate team. But defense never gets credit. They just don't. I don't care what sport you play. They just don't. And I praise defense all the time. And to watch a kid play defense, when you see this kid play and the ball handling ability of this kid, you're going to go, I just couldn't understand how Raposa could stay with him and never. He got beat off the dribble maybe 2-3 times, but over the course of 32 minutes, that was impressive.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
You're very rarely going to look at that.
No. So it was fun.
That was exciting. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't able to make it over, but I watched on Ball 603's live stream, and it was an exciting game.
Yeah.
I mean, even like my sister, like she doesn't care. She's 9, but she was like, "Whoa, this is good!" Like, so
Did she
definitely.
see me?
What?
She didn't. Did she see me on the broadcast?
No.
No. Oh,
No.
just
I thought you were in Florida. Wasn't looking.
I was behind the Belmont bench. Come on.
Again, wasn't looking.
I stood and waved.
Oh, did you? You were signed. Devin, I'm over here. DPPG. That's what I should have said.
I should have worn my shirt. That would have been good.
Should have sent you with the DPPG sign. Almost like what they do like during the Red Sox-Yankees game with the ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, darn it. Missed opportunity.
I'll think of something.
Oh, yeah.
I'll get you.
All right,
I'll
perfect,
get you. Don't
perfect.
worry.
Appreciate it. Cool. Well, yeah, I mean, that's really...
Oh, sorry. I just thought of, because we were talking about bigs and all this stuff, and this is a way back story, probably before you were born. So...
Maybe even before he was born?
No.
I don't know.
He's young.
I was going to say,
And I've been around a long time. So
we're in that same age gap.
I'm going to give you the ballpark year. And so in the... Actually, you probably weren't born now that I think about this. In the early 90s.
Oh, I was around then.
Okay.
I'm an 80s baby, kind of.
All right.
Kinda.
Perfect. In the early 90s, my big coaching basketball resume was I was the middle school basketball coach in Belmont. And in 7th and 8th grade, I coached Ethan Cole, who in 8th grade was 6'3", 6'4", and then had him. I moved up to the JV team his freshman year, but he
probably never played a second of a JV ball ever.
He was going to varsity, and but the thing that we always chuckled about all those years of coaching him, he wanted to shoot threes, nothing more than shoot threes. I'm like, dude, there's no one in middle school that can play against you just because of your size.
Yeah.
And I go, no one's going to block a shot of yours ever. Post up, score 30 points a game in middle school, and just dominate games. Coach, I can shoot the three. And I'm like, so after his freshman year, he leaves Belmont. He actually ends up in Concord. He plays his last 2 years of high school ball with Matt Bonner. and Ethan ends up at UNH, and then his last eligibility year of college basketball plays for Syracuse. And so it was just funny to have coached a kid who went on
Played
to
at
that
the top level, yeah.
And then just go, dude, all you ever wanted to do was shoot threes. Which at that level, because he grew to be, I think Ethan grew to be like 6'10".
Yeah.
But he was just what a ball player.
That's
he
a
was.
stretch. That's a stretch 4 nowadays.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, you're a point guard.
Jim
in some
Boeheim's not
leagues.
letting him shoot threes at Syracuse. That's for sure.
No. He may have. I don't know. But it was just funny. Just funny to because it's rare that we get size, that we get legit size.
Where Belmont is, and even Guilford with the two Reese brothers. I mean, those kids are huge, and Sam Cheek is a tall kid. I mean, that's something that's so few and far between. That like once Keegan and Anakin leave, I mean, when's the next time you're going to have two kids, let alone one that's above 6'2", 6'3". I mean, there's
Keegan's 6'5", Anakin's 6'6".
Yeah, I mean those kids are big.
And Keegan plays soccer for me as an outside mid, and everyone's like, you're like, why is he an outside mid? Because
he can move.
He can move,
yep.
And he can jump. And he's a kid who in this fall season missed. In his defense, he was always in the right place at the right time, but just the worst deflections came his way. But he was on the doorstep of scoring. He should have scored probably 7 or 8 goals, but just could never. He got snake bit.
He probably had a couple against us.
No, he didn't. The kid didn't. He didn't score all year.
Really?
He should have. He was always in the right spot.
Well, that makes me feel a little bit better.
I think he had one point blank against you guys, and then I think he kicked it right at the keeper. Might have been. I think it. I'm replaying the game in my head.
We did our best to let him score, I'm sure.
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
It was a brutal.
That's my trip down memory lane.
I was going to say,
brutal game for us.
Perfect. There you go. Make me feel like I'm a toddler.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Early 90s guy.
When he says early 90s, I was a toddler.
Yeah.
I was going to say I was 99, so I was just got in August of 99. Just got in.
That's why when I say I'm an 80s baby I was born in July of 89. Foley's just like, good Lord.
Going into my senior year of college.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Trying to make you feel old.
No, I don't. It's okay.
Hey, he doesn't look it at all.
I was going to say, and he says that hair is all natural. I don't believe it.
Salt and pepper, baby.
Listen, I got a little. I was
going to say, I'm seeing it a little.
It's a little. It's coming.
Just for men.
It's no. It's okay.
I'll get it for you. Anyways, moving on. By the way, speaking of, before we go to hockey, I was rewatching a show we did, Dan and I. We volunteered you to be the sideline reporter for ski racing, just so you know, for DPPG.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, we did do that. I do remember.
Hazard pay. We talked about all that.
Can we sign me up to do the Nordic Championship?
No, we're going to be doing the downhill stuff.
I'll do downhill.
Yeah, so you'll be
you'll
be standing on the mountain with Josh Spalding.
That's all right.
We'll give you the microphone.
Josh and I get along well.
It'll be the only thing you guys will be able to cover, because Nordic, I can't imagine there's going to be much Nordic going on.
Well, yeah, I know.
Unbelievable.
I went last year to the Nordic state championships.
That's what, Great Glen?
They did it over at Kearsarge.
Oh, really?
Over at Proctor.
Yep.
Which is basically Kearsarge. But again, the reason why I had to go is Will Riley
Oh, yeah.
was, won the whole thing. So
Had to go. Way to
What?
make.
I had to go support
gotta-
my,
you gotta
support
go.
my
I'm
captain.
trying to
man.
help you here.
I
You're like, I had to go.
Especially Will. He's a great kid.
Brought the,
I love that kid. I'll be honest. When we play you guys next fall and he's not there, I'm gonna be a little bit upset.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
be upset.
Him and a couple others,
come
but
June.
I remember when he first came in as a freshman, and you were
Such a
like,
tiny kid.
yeah, he was so small. And we're playing in the summer. You're like, yeah, he's gonna be on varsity. I'm like, no, he's not. He's like, yeah. We were like, he's just a big runner. And he was. You don't. I mean, there's a handful of favorites throughout the years from other schools,
Sure.
and he's up there for sure. So,
Yeah.
Such a great kid. Going to Bowdoin.
is he?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's gonna ski at Bowdoin
Nice.
along with Zach Ennis.
Perfect. I'm not
The
surprised.
Belmont connection.
Say, I'm not surprised.
All right.
I had nothing to do with it. So.
So again, so we're gonna put you on the sideline with the microphone, just so you know.
Giddy up. Let's
No,
go.
no hazard pay available
That's
though,
it.
so
I
I'm
don't
sorry.
need hazard pay. You just got to get me covered from school. That's all.
Oh, that's fine. I'll find a sub.
Okay.
I don't sub in that district anymore, but I'll make
I
it
know.
work. We'll make
You
it
can
work.
find someone.
Yeah, exactly. I got this. I got connections.
Just saying. You could bring somebody back from Florida, have her come up and sub.
I don't think I can get her out of
B-
Florida.
B don't wanna do
No, I don't
that.
think B's leaving Florida for a while.
I wouldn't.
I was gonna say I don't think she's going anywhere.
I mean,
Yeah.
if it's going to say 55 up here in January, I'm sure there's not a lot of the snow bunnies won't be going down there.
There's
be
no
tough.
There's no comparison.
Nope.
No. So, anyways, so ice hockey, real quick. BG had a tournament, the Brady Sullivan tournament, at Merrill Fay this past week. I feel like if we didn't talk about them, we'd get a bunch of angry emails. So,
Did you cover the hockey?
no, we didn't.
Oh.
No, we
You're
didn't.
going to get angry.
Oh, I already got them. I got messages already saying you're going to basketball instead of hockey. It's like, well, we're the title sponsor.
The basketball was your tournament.
I'm gonna say I kind of have to. Well, it wasn't our tournament. Don't worry. Don't say that because then Rick will get mad at me.
Well, I mean, it's always Guilford's tournament as long as they keep winning it.
That's not what I was saying. I was, anyways. No, but I mean, we're the title sponsor of the Lakes Region Holiday Tournament. We have to be there.
Yep.
Man, sorry, not bad.
Oh, good.
But anyways, so BG won the championship for their own tournament. They beat Kearsarge Plymouth 5-2. They went 4-0 in the tournament, and one of the notables that Coach Parent wanted me to make sure to mention is that BG beat Pembroke Campbell 42.
Nice.
So
That's a good win.
yeah, so
Is Pembroke Campbell one of the other teams to beat in that division besides Belmont,
yeah.
Guilford, and Berlin?
for the most part, yeah. I mean, Kearsarge Plymouth is always a force to be reckoned with, but honestly, Pack is, if you were to choose a Lakes Region rival, Pack would be it.
Yeah.
Although they're not really Lakes Region,
Pembroke's
but like,
close.
yeah, it's like
It's
it's
Campbell
like on the
is a
edge.
stretch, yeah.
Yeah, it's like on Pembroke is right there. Campbell, not so much.
Not so
But
much.
That's a weird co-op.
are they playing Concord?
That's on. I mean, Pembroke Academy is really Concord anyway.
That's fine. But I'm
It's
saying
not-
Campbell, driving
Yeah.
from Campbell to Concord.
Yeah.
That's
Well, if you're
not horrible, but like,
who's Plymouth is with
Kearsarge.
Kearsarge.
yeah, and they play at PSU, right?
Not always. Sometimes they rotate through. Sometimes they play at over in that Kearsarge area, or sometimes they play at
Oh.
Plymouth State.
All right.
Do they play over at New England College?
No, that's John Stark, Hopkinton, Hillsborough, Deering.
Thank you.
Good lord,
That was
That's a
quick.
mouthful.
That was quick.
I'm learning.
Or then you have like, and it's what?
Unfortunately, I have to know this.
John Stark, Hopkinton, and
Hillsborough, Deering.
wow.
Wait,
Yeah, yeah.
Is that?
That's what you said.
I know that's what I said, but hold on.
It just was a lot to
now
say.
I'm
That's
questioning
why
myself.
I was
Hold on.
like, that was impressive.
That division's so.
Yes, it
that-
is
It's
Hillsborough,
so
Deering.
huge.
Hopkinton just
Wow. That's just such a wide variety.
It's just as bad as Laconia, Winter Winter Lakes, as far as Lebanon, Stevens, Mount Royal Academy.
How many kids from Mount Royal playing that?
I don't know.
I can't imagine it's many.
It's so small.
Hollis,
But
Brookline, Dairyfield. Anyways, yeah,
Yeah.
the co-op combinations in Division 3 are something else.
hey, it's
But
the way they roll.
It's the only, but the way. I mean, that's the only way they'd be able to play.
You wouldn't have D3 hockey.
You wouldn't. No, you
Right.
wouldn't. Like even Berlin, who they're combined with Gorham, but I mean even the Berlin numbers for hockey probably aren't the same as they were 5 years ago when they moved from Division 1 to Division 3.
Right.
They were probably at 25, 30 kids before. Like it's a weird. That's just a tough sport to have. one school be in charge of it.
Right.
Like it's just one of those weird ones, and it's not shocking to see.
It's not a cheap sport.
No,
either.
No, exactly.
What are you talking about?
Ice time is privilege.
Well, if we can talk about it a little bit, but I mean, and it's the same in wherever you go. But like I was reading something the other day. University of Michigan's women's hockey team isn't covered by the school, so they have to pay for their own ice time in their arena.
Wait a minute.
So they basically fundraise.
Back up.
They fundraise so that they can play their hockey games there.
Really?
Yeah, it was some ridiculous number. It was like $25,000 for a season to have their ice time for practices, games, etc.
Start playing on the big lake out there.
But like that's
really
that's something that these teams have to deal with.
Struggle with, yeah.
And I mean, granted, when it was Interlakes, Moltenboro, and Laconia, Winnisquam, and Belmont, Guilford, you didn't have like the Wolves weren't as big of a thing or a thing in Laconia, so you still had like some jockeying around a little bit. But I mean, you have one ice arena in the Lakes region. Basically, Plymouth has their own. Holderness has one. There's one up at Waterville. But like
New Hampton still have their outdoor rink.
Outdoor?
I don't know.
Well, it wasn't like so. Again, I'm dating myself here, but when I was at Plymouth's home rink was New Hampton. And it was an outdoor rink.
I think Holderness might be the only one that's an outdoor rink.
Yeah,
but they just renovated that to make it outdoor.
Right.
When I was at Plymouth, they were playing at Waterville at the time.
Really?
Because the ice rink hadn't been built yet.
It wasn't done yet. Gotcha.
My tuition money went to that, but
hey, well done.
But I mean,
well
like
done.
it's not like
the Foley Gymnasium didn't.
I know, right? But like, there's just not. It's not like fields where you can just be like, all right, every town has a soccer field or a baseball field.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to, and like we talk about Division III being as far as Berlin and as far south as New England College or Winchester, or Massachusetts, whatever school was down there,
or something.
If as soon as you sign up for hockey, you sign up for those travels.
Right. Absolutely.
So for us, the casual fans, we'll just be like, I don't want to drive all the way to Keene to watch them play a game. That's a normal travel.
Right.
That's 5 a.m. ice time down in Keene.
For them, that's nothing.
No, you do that.
We're going to Keene?
Yes, exactly. I mean, you do that.
Close game.
Yeah, you do that any day of the week. They're just like, all right, we'll leave it here at 3 o'clock. You'll be on the ice at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Like that's just normal. As soon as you sign your name on the line, you're committing to that hectic, crazy schedule.
Here we go.
Yikes.
It's a good time.
I scoff at getting up at 5 in the morning, let alone being on the ice at 5 in the morning.
It's good for you, guy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
You should try it.
All right.
Yeah, do it tomorrow.
So here's that. No.
Why do you think I look this young?
Really?
5 a.m. guy.
Every day.
Every day.
Are we?
Not every day.
My alarm went off at 5 this morning, and I was like, rolled back over.
I got up at 6 this morning.
My sleep
But I did go to the gym.
Not to talk about sleep schedules, but mine's all over the place. It's very day to day.
Yeah.
It's, I don't have to be anywhere till 4. Well, I'll stay up till 3 in the morning and work.
Nope.
Oh, that's gross.
It's not good for you.
And then the next day, it's I got to be up at Guilford to sub at 7 a.m. Switch
Do they
gears.
start? What time do you guys start in the morning? 7?
7:30.
Guilford's at 7:35.
We're in
It
8:15.
used to be 7:25 for 30 years.
Wasn't it when I was there too?
Yeah.
We just
Not
shift.
that you showed up on time.
We
No.
shifted a few years ago.
Never.
So everybody goes at 8:15,
Wow.
and they don't get out. We don't get out until after 3 o'clock.
Right. Well, that's why what I deal with middle school, anytime I say Interlakes on any schedule, I know it's a 4 o'clock start.
Yeah.
No.
Any middle school is always 4.
Yeah. Nothing starts at 3. Like I have a game tomorrow. It's a 3. No, it's actually a 4 o'clock start. But I have one game I'm reffing 4 games, 4 days this week. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
It's good money. It's good money, man.
One game tomorrow.
Wow.
2 Wednesday.
Where are you tomorrow?
One. I'm in Belmont.
Oh, that's not bad then.
That's fine. Right down the hill.
What's Cayman pay for
Right
middle
down
school?
the hill.
It is. Down
I
the
know.
hill.
I'm
Do you remember?
I still
Maybe?
live there, so
Do you?
don't want. Yeah,
Okay.
haven't left home yet.
Is it the same? Is every middle
It's
school paying
pretty
the
much
same?
the same. Yeah.
It's not bad.
No, it's not a bad gig at all.
It's really not, especially at middle school level. The games are 7-minute quarters, if that.
Yeah.
So goes quick.
There's only a couple schools that do 8-minute quarters that request to do it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they're 7 minutes, and we have running time. You're up by 25 in the fourth quarter. It's running time, and
Yeah.
there's a handful of teams that get there quick.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. I've watched my fair share of middle school. If the ball doesn't get inbounded enough or over half court, it's 25-0 before the first quarter is over.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the hard part is you just said there are some schools that can press right away, and then there are others where you're just like, all right, you could just steal the ball at half court.
Yeah.
Like, just tone it down a little.
Our first game that I did was a Winnisquam-Guilford middle school game over at Guilford. And the girls' team was Guilford girls, I think, were up by 30-something points going into the fourth quarter. And we were like, and actually what had happened was the B team game wasn't going to happen. So we were only playing one game.
Yeah.
And we were like, do we really need to go to
running time?
I go, it's their first game of the season. Let's just play it out. And it's not like we're calling a million fouls anyway. So if they win by 60, it really isn't going to matter. But they got, realistically a few extra minutes of playing time.
That's what it was like. We had Guilford boys varsity at our place a couple weeks ago. And it was 33 or something going into the fourth. So I turned to Mr. Torn. I'm like, this game will be over in 8 minutes. Guilford's got the ball to start. A dunk. Running time.
Bam, yeah.
We didn't get to running time until there was like 3 minutes left in the fourth. And I turned, I think it was the assistant coach there who was doing the book for them. I was like, should we even bother? Like, should we just let this continue and, play it as normal? Because, it's 3 minutes.
Right.
Like, what are we, at that point, like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like,
You're not
it's a great rule that they started a few years ago because it just doesn't. We had a girls' game the other day. We were getting absolutely throttled. And I've been doing this a long time, doing the clock and watching games or whatever. We're down by 40, and they're intentionally fouling. So the Prospect Mountain team can shoot free throws so we can get the ball back. I'm like, we're in running time. I'm like, we should have been out of here 15 minutes earlier.
Please let this end. Yeah.
And I turned, I'm like, obviously, like, Mr. Torr's been doing it for a lot longer than I have. I'm like, have you ever seen this? Ever?
Yeah.
In your 40 or 50 years working at this school, have you ever seen a team down this many? And by that, I mean down by more than 6.
Right.
Intentionally foul. Like, just let the clock go. Just run this thing out. Well, like, I get it. I mean, if you want to try to run sets and, try to get through it, but I was like, oh, man, you're earning our money today. I don't remember who the officials were, but I think at some point I came over. I was like, just don't call them anymore. Just don't call the foul. Just don't call it. Just don't call it.
Just let them go. But anyways, moving on here to talking about what's coming up this week here on our schedule.
Do you want me to read the show note? Just DP on business trip. No announcers for this week's game.
Oh, I love it.
Good times. Can we do a shout out?
To who?
To
her? Yeah. All right, let's do it.
B getting married Friday, January 6th.
Heck yeah. Right.
So excited for you, my dear. I wish you all the best. Devin was able to make it to Florida to be part of the celebration.
I'm her DJ, so there's that too.
That's why it said on a business trip.
That's true.
Right.
Smart. Write it off on the old 2023 taxes.
It's good. She's an absolute sweetheart. She's a Belmont grad. She was a manager, soccer team. She was awesome.
She played her senior year too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was great.
She was great. I mean,
was well. Stayed in Florida. She's in what, Tampa area. Yeah. So
I'll send her this later. And
poor life choices there, huh?
Darn it!
Shucks.
Gotta get down to Tampa.
I bet it's like 65 right now.
That's tough. That's tough. He's going to look it up because he has it saved.
That's brutal living. Absolutely brutal living.
Someone's got to do it.
I was going to say, I know Orlando.
Monday evening, I bet it's warm down there. The
76 degrees in Tampa.
The sun's probably still out.
Oh, man, it's going to rain Thursday.
Oh, no.
Yeah, 75 and raining on Thursday.
It's Florida. It rains every day.
It's not raining on Friday, though.
No. Friday's going to be beautiful.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 67.
Yeah, but if she's listening, rain on a wedding day is good, isn't it? I wouldn't know, but
I was going to say, we're going to default to the experience over here on this end of the table.
I've been married twice.
Did it rain either time?
It rained on our wedding in Ireland, second marriage.
Oh, all right.
It always kinda
And
rains
look,
over
and now
there.
it's fine. Everything's going well so far.
Fantastic.
So there you go.
But it was one of those, for the whole 2 weeks we were in Ireland, it barely rained. But on our wedding day, right as we're about ready to take photos and stuff, it rained, it like spit for 2 seconds. But we got it's Ireland. You got phenomenal shots of it. So it was a good time.
No, that's awesome. No, it's going to be great. I mean, her and I, we went through a little bit of a, I don't want to say a scare, but I'm supposed to fly out on Southwest tomorrow. So
Lucky
I reached out to her like Wednesday, and I'm like, "Are you following along with this?" And she was like, "I wasn't, but I am now," because I guess most of her bridal party is also flying on Southwest.
Yeah.
So she was like, So, but no, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to celebrate with you, B. And
Can we give
YDB.
a suggestion for a DJ song?
she might not listen to it, but go ahead. No joke, she gave me a playlist and said hit play. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I'm DJing. That's it.
You're gonna have to sneak. You're gonna have to sneak Foley's song into this playlist.
I'm gonna have to think now.
Oh, jeez. No.
Before you just say, "Hey, this is from Coach."
This is from Coach Foley. There you go.
Yeah, she can't get mad at that.
No, of course not. No, I gave
Please
her.
don't get mad at that.
I gave
Not
her
at-
some.
Not at Foley.
I gave her some great suggestions. Like, there's a song that's like silly, and it's just like a cake cutting song, and it's like the bride cuts the cake. The bride, like it's something like you hear on Sesame Street, and she was like, "We're doing it," and I'm like, "Sweet." Yeah. So
All right.
it's probably a good thing you're missing. Although originally it was
good.
you and I who were supposed to be the MCs for that.
Really?
Did she ever mention
No.
that to you?
No.
Oh man,
Wow.
he could have gotten his trip to Florida.
That's what I'm saying.
So-
Friday from
yeah.
Southwest.
Finally got down there. There you go. A
You
week
know.
later. No, yeah, that was the original plan. It was going to be me, doing all the music, and you and I were going to be emceeing, and
Look,
she wanted that
I could
because
introduce. I'm a wedding photographer as well. We could have knocked a lot of stuff off the
yeah,
plate.
check.
Brought to you by Trade Safe. Come on, Devin. Did you really think?
I was waiting
Did you
for it.
really think I wasn't gonna
It
say
took an hour and 11 minutes.
Every single show,
An hour and 11
I make
minutes.
sure to get
I
that
was
pitch in there.
waiting for it. But yes, that was her original plan because, as she said, you and I have a good
Rapport.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was blanking on the.
Gotcha. It's okay.
It's a good thing he's not going down. But yeah, no, you and I would bounce off each
we would
other.
have had a
yeah.
blast. We would have had a blast.
But instead, he decided to work or something. Whatever.
Call me crazy.
Fly you out Thursday
It's funny.
night.
I was looking at.
Nonstop out of Manchester on Thursday night. I got you.
There is no nonstop out of Manchester.
What do you I'm taking the nonstop tomorrow.
That's good.
Yeah, so get on.
Thursday night. Tomorrow? Get on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
You want my? No, it's not gonna. Sorry, B.
I'll fly you out Friday morning. How about that? Business trip.
Business.
I
Well,
got
it's
you.
funny. I was looking at going to Florida January 14th because there's a huge
Card show.
sports card show in
Yeah,
West Palm Beach,
Not surprised.
just right near where my brother lives. So I was like, Mom, maybe I can swing this because it's Martin Luther King Jr. weekend, and I'm like, no. I was looking at flights, like not going to happen. So I have to settle instead on January 18th.
Oh, shucks.
You know,
Still have to go to Florida.
no, January 18th is the monthly card show.
Oh, gotcha. See, I was going to say he's working it in there. Subtle.
I love it. I absolutely
Subtle.
love it.
Still waiting for you to show up, guy.
I'm still waiting to hear where it is.
January
The
18th.
monthly card show.
Where?
That's
Online?
The site. The monthly card
Oh,
show.
okay. So it's a website thing.
Yeah.
Clearly,
you
I
not-
haven't
See
been
this
paying
thing
Have
like
you
you do
not-
on
attention.
this whole thing?
Have you not listened?
No.
It's on the website. It's in the stream. It's in the cloud.
Real quick. Do you think I actually listen when he talks? I mean, he
should,
doesn't with me.
You
probably should.
He doesn't
know.
with me. So
Is
like,
there
I
a
feel
delay?
Has been for a number of years.
That's for sure.
Ever since I met as a teacher, delayed. Anyways,
Ouch.
so
It's okay.
that's fine. I mean, you thought I was still 16 when we brought this up the first show. Remember that? when I was like sophomore year, you were like, you were 16 now? No, you act like it. Yeah, I remember.
He's not wrong.
I love how I'm looking at you, and then
Listen,
in my ear,
just
I
know
hear
it's
he's not wrong.
It's the way it rolls here.
little information from behind me. He's not wrong. No, but in all seriousness, it'll be fun for Brianna and everything. But while I'm gone, we're going to cover 3 games this week. So tomorrow, that's tomorrow. My gosh.
I'm not available.
Notice how he knows the question was going to come if he could announce a game. Anyways, tomorrow, boys basketball at Incher Lakes versus Mascoma. You can watch it live here on DPPGnetwork.com at 6. On Wednesday, we got ice hockey for Laconia Winnisquam. Incher Lakes playing Sandbar Epping. That's a 5 o'clock puck drop. And then on Friday, girls basketball at Guilford versus White Mountains.
Nice.
So that's what
It's a
our
good week.
That's our week. Basic, simple.
The following week,
The following week,
big week.
I don't even want to think about that one yet.
Yeah, that's good. Belmont at
You
Guilford.
gotta
Let me
promote, guy. You
I'm
gotta
going to
Belmont
get to
at
Florida
Guilford.
first. Hang on a minute.
learn to
1 week at a
promote
time.
it at
Biggest-
the wedding.
at the
wedding.
Biggest game in Division 3 history.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Ladies and gentlemen, this
Literally.
has nothing to do with you guys down
we'd
here
like
in
to
Florida.
introduce the bride and the groom. But
But
before
first-
we do that,
But first,
this wedding is brought to you by
trade safe. Oh, no.
DPPG's
Sports
broadcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Belmont at Guilford.
Which is
Tuesday.
presented by Trade Safe. So we wrap it all together.
I got it.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. No, so as he already read the note, just to make fun of me, there won't be any announcers as of right now.
Should on a business trip, not DP on business trip.
This is only for us to read. He's
Yeah,
adding
thank
in
you.
those extra
I was going to
characters.
say thank you for bringing. yeah.
Don't
Hold
have
the
a
red
red pen.
The red pen. But in all seriousness, I was trying to get somebody to call the hockey game. Conversations
We
went
might-
dry.
We might still have that. We might have that conversation. We got to see.
We got to figure that one out. Because
Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh,
What time's
geez.
again?
5.
Reffing.
Oh, wait, were you going to jump on too? Oh, my
Dan
God.
and I do a hockey game? Yeah,
That'd be kind of fun.
I'd be sitting in the hotel in Florida listening to this going, oh, my gosh,
You should have done the BG game with us.
this is over.
Well, I did the finals last year with
Yeah.
this guy. But
Semifinals.
We should have
it's the
called.
semis.
We
It's the
should
semis?
we should have called him
It's
in
the
for that
finals.
BG Laconia
That's right, we couldn't do the
Winnisquam
finals.
Interlake's first game of the year.
Oh, my gosh.
We would have been
I
able
wouldn't
to
have been get a word in.
That's
you
fine.
Guys
We
would
could have
that's
we could have
fine.
filled in that third period when it was 12-1 or 12-2, whatever it was. We could have filled space with that.
This is a special edition of the DPPG Sports
Yeah,
Show.
pretty much. We could
With
have
hockey as
exactly.
the background instead.
hockey going on in the background. So let's talk spring baseball.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Spring baseball.
Absolutely.
I know one of the softball players here came up to me and was like, "Did you see this softball schedule's already out for for prospect?" And I'm like, "No." I'm like, "I'm not looking at that yet." I'm a little
You should
little
always,
preoccupied.
always be looking.
Oh no, I'm already thinking about
I
spring.
got 17 games right now.
I was gonna say I'm already thinking about
Yeah.
spring.
I'm trying
but
to.
I'm not
I'm trying
thinking
to
about
get
schedule.
scrimmage. I'm trying to get scrimmages in and everything right now.
No, apparently prospects only got 11 softball games on their schedule right now. I'm like,
It's still.
Most of
that
those
could
schedules
probably
are
get
It's still
filled in
so
and things
early.
Like that.
It's
like if you looked at our schedules prior to the season beginning, like some schools had 6 games. So it's like
and you only put and the ADs only put their home games in and wait for the other teams
Right.
to put their home games
Well,
in.
and
So
that's
it
what
takes
I-
a little while.
And that's what I said to her. I'm like, you played 16 games last year. That 11 is guaranteed right now. Those other 5 are, conversations that are going to happen between athletic directors.
Well,
and-
the schedule's already
done.
been done. Yeah.
No, I know, but
Tell her to go into the office at Corey Rue tomorrow. Walk right by their secretary and demand that schedule be updated right away.
that'll go over well.
I was going to say,
He's probably off fishing somewhere, knowing
oh
Corey anyway.
He's in Florida.
Is he?
I don't know.
He was one of the
He
fortunate.
got out right
yeah.
before me.
right before everything went downhill.
He's getting ready for ice. Does he ice fish? He would.
I don't think so.
I mean, it's not. It doesn't seem his style, but I wouldn't put it past him.
One of these shows, Dan's just going to get himself canceled right off this.
I've known Corey since I was 14.
I was
He
just
was my
saying, it's
soccer
just
coach
funny.
in high school.
All right. Then I was going to say, without the context to it, it sounds like you're just like,
Oh, I only
No.
throw,
Taking your
I
jabs.
only poke at those I know. I'm not stupid enough to do it to
Corey's a good
someone
egg.
else. Yeah.
He's a good egg.
Yeah.
Love Rue.
He can handle it.
Oh, yeah.
Love
He was my elementary school teacher back in the day. Yeah. Before he left, when Prospect Mountain opened doors, fall of 06.
Talk about dating. Dating himself. That's what I meant.
Fall of 06
I
is
know,
dating
right?
yourself.
Well, dating himself.
Yeah, I was 17.
Yeah,
16.
exactly. Jeez.
Take me back.
I was coaching against him as a player.
We didn't win that. We probably didn't win that either.
I was going to say.
I got the results somewhere.
06.
Oh, you probably beat us.
06. I think I was 6 years old.
We snuck in as
I
a
was in-
16 seed and got blown out by Guilford in the first round.
Nothing's
Absolutely.
changed.
No, not really.
Nothing's
We've had a
changed.
couple of. We tied him once. We tied him once in one of my first few years.
Dan's a classic case of. You remember when? Well, now I'm coaching against the same coach I played against.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, exactly.
I started
if you're a
at
local guy,
I
come on.
started at 22, so
Yeah, it's fine.
I was old when I started.
I was 22 last year. Wait a minute.
yeah.
Wait
So
a
was
minute,
I.
you guys. Yeah,
So was I.
Yeah, and you were like, we're in the
Wait a
same
minute.
same age bracket. I'm gonna be 34 this year.
No, but we're closer in age than.
You're only 34?
I'll be 34
Nice
this
guy.
year, this summer. Yeah.
I thought you were younger than that.
Thank you. I wish I was.
Thank you.
I'm only 20 years older.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't have guessed that at all.
54.
I'm carrying.
55 this year,
I'm
guy.
carrying the math.
Jeez,
Don't
I
worry.
I probably would have guessed like
Little-
early 40s.
Little
Really.
Sammy Hager this year. Dad, I can't drive.
I love that. I listen to some other podcasts who use that 55 for fantasy football, and it's hilarious when it comes on. Not to plug other people, but
That's okay. You didn't drop any names.
I thought about it.
The only one who drops names here is this guy on this end.
Just businesses. guy.
Trade safe.
I drop trade safe every show.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That or lights at Interlakes. Gotta
Well,
bring it up.
that's-
I'm
that's
telling
important.
Hey,
you.
our turf is completely uncovered right now.
That's good and or bad, right?
It's fantastic right now. We have a baseball workout Sunday night. We might just do it earlier in the day and just go play out on the turf.
Why not, right?
Run a full practice out there.
Just play
Realistically,
on the far end.
yes, the non-solar,
The non-solar panel
yeah.
end.
I'll go there tomorrow and earlier on to see if they fixed it. I doubt it, but
New year, new panel.
there's a Jack Gintoff destruction there.
Anything over there on your end?
Anything over here?
Yeah, I
on my
wasn't
end?
sure if you were looking up anything or.
I just was notified I'm in the running for the football pool.
Oh,
So-
nice! Congrats.
The only one who picked the Bills.
We have gone officially rogue off the list. I don't even know why.
Well, see, it says DP on business trip. No announcers for this week's game.
I don't know.
After that,
I don't know why I even spend the money. On the
After
paper.
that, we can pretty much talk about whatever we want.
that's a David Letterman move you just did there.
He did the paper airplane the first show.
Oh, he did?
We haven't done it since.
Remember, because you guys talked about soccer for like an hour and a half, and I was like, well, while they were talking, and you were like, that took you an hour
I
and a
was
half.
here.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I mean, it seems like you didn't a second ago. Just saying. Are we going back to this?
Ricky Bobby. I don't know what to do with my hands right now.
Back? Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. Anyways.
Should we talk about racing? Or?
Do you want to bring that up? I mean, there's nothing going on right now.
Dude,
Miami Grand Prix just released more tickets for $5,000
good
each.
for them.
MGM Grand just announced that you could stay at their hotel for $5 or $2 million. You get like a 5 seats or 12 seats.
When
and
are they?
food
When are
and-
they racing out there?
November 12th.
Oh, okay.
It's like,
Oh, it's the finals weekend.
oh, perfect.
So you and I won't be able to go.
I would love.
Or you will be.
I would love that.
No, won't be able
I'm going out there in August. I didn't know if it would be a zoo. It probably will, but
By the way,
Speaking of Vegas,
Girl Scout cookies, if you need any, let me know.
we got invited to go back out for the Mint Collective
yep.
Trade Safe. And that weekend of the show, the Mint Collective in Vegas, we have a senior class trip to Florida. I'm one of the senior class advisors.
You should be like, let's go to Vegas.
No.
Let's just
No.
redirect.
No, it was not.
redirect.
That's
the
a
play.
hard. That'll be a hard sell to the school board.
Sorry, seniors, but no.
Everyone at home right now going, wait a minute.
No.
We're
no,
going to
no,
Vegas?
Vegas.
No.
Wait a minute.
Would you want to take 45 seniors to Vegas
See,
and be responsible for those 45?
I don't see the problem.
No.
You're 22. Yes, you wouldn't see the problem.
I would
for
not.
that.
I
Absolutely
don't
not.
see.
Just
I will say I went to Vegas when I was like 8 years old for a NASCAR race. Hated every minute of it. Then
It's
again, I was
great.
an 8-year-old.
I'm going in August. I'm sure to be cool.
for a NASCAR race, good for you.
I know, right?
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
No, I'm going for a 30th birthday party.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna be.
He just said he was 34.
Um,
How's he doing the
I know.
Interlakes
time
math.
travel? Time travel.
It is. Yeah, that it would be Interlakes math for sure.
I can't believe I just said that on video.
I'm an alumni. I can say that.
Somebody's yikes. Sorry.
Everyone who graduates knows it.
Just like that, I was canceled and no longer allowed to cover games and talk to athletes. You know, we live in a cancel culture world.
No way.
Everybody thought you were canceled. You just like dropped
Yeah.
off the face of the planet.
I was busy. Busy guy.
Busy doing what?
He's
Trade
reffing.
safe.
Yeah.
On Sunday mornings? I think that was more like you wanted to sleep in.
No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 5 a.m.
You know, I am
6 on
married.
Sundays. So.
You know,
6 on Sunday. I sleep in on Sundays.
you know.
I was
Back
gonna
to
say-
the 5
I was gonna
a.m.
say, was
grind
there-
tomorrow.
I say, was there more to that thought that we cut you off?
No,
All right.
no. I was going to say, you know, I am married, and I enjoy that
I was gonna say,
aspect
and
of
your
being
point.
married. And you're going to watch someone get married,
And
pick up some pointers.
from B. From Brianna.
Absolutely.
Are you sure? Have you met Brianna?
I
Now, see, knowing not married, but have had some relationships like that, you have to basically, when you're married, run those things by another person.
Oh, so that's what you're
where
getting at? All
where you and I can just be like, hey, you want to do a show tomorrow, 5:30?
Let's do it.
We can just be like, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Foley doesn't have that same luxury.
He reached out to me. Hey, are you available? He reached out to both of you available. I said, let me check. I will get back to you.
Yeah.
And
I
I was
checked.
respectful.
You were.
I was going to say, I didn't press it.
No. Well,
but
you can press all you want.
Where
It's not.
where you and I are just literally like, yeah, we can do whatever. Whatever, you know, it's fine. We don't
we
have
go.
that.
I got nothing on that.
What'd you just do
What?
with your
I
hands?
went like this.
Oh, what? But was it like a?
No. It was like a, I don't know. No,
I
not
don't
like
know
that.
what to do with my hands.
Not that.
right
No.
now.
A little bit higher.
I know if I go up a little higher, I can hold the DPPG logo.
You could raise the roof with it.
He's trying to like.
I don't know what
Look at you. Do
I don't
this.
know. I
Do
don't know
this.
what camera I'm
Do this.
on.
Do this.
How's it?
Look at that. Look at that. Just hold it a little higher. A little higher. And now make the face.
That's the cover photo now.
I know, right?
Doing it.
Well,
That's what we'll do for those in-game ads. Have you seen that?
Yes.
I did see those. Yeah.
Now I'll make sure that that's the logo. That's
Fine.
As long as your camera person is holding it as we're like coming to the goal for hockey, because then we're holding the net up.
the goal.
That'd be kind of cool.
Now we're talking.
Yeah.
There you go. We'll
Could
make
you
this
like put that out like on a spotlight onto the ice?
work. So like what the NHL
Yeah,
does.
exactly.
You probably could do that.
There's a way, guy.
Look,
Yeah.
they're holding the blue line.
You could totally do that.
Holding the
Yeah.
blue line. Did you watch the Winter Classic?
I did.
today?
I watched the end of it.
Oh, you caught the end.
Yeah.
I was watching it. I was down in the basement, sorting cards,
Married life. Got sent to the
folding
basement.
laundry.
Got sent to the basement.
My wife was working today.
Oh, all right.
So-
All right.
Therefore, but had the game on, and it was like, Bruins are down 1-0 when I turned it off. And when I got here, I saw the final. I was like,
Yeah, no, the Penguins got a shot off literally a second after the third period buzzer.
oh, was
Yeah.
it a goal?
No.
Oh, they
No.
got a shot off.
No, well, it went into the net.
Well, that's when I.
But
Was it a goal? No.
Oh yeah.
No, it went in, but it was no goal because it was after
Because
the
there
buzzer.
was no time.
Okay.
So figuratively, goal, but not actually because there was no time.
No goal.
Gotcha.
No goal.
Go Bills.
Yes, go Bills
You
tonight.
guys are mean.
Go Bills.
Devin Singletary and Stephon Diggs only.
Josh Allen and Diggs.
Don't we play you guys next week in theory? Yeah.
We have to win. Actually, if Buffalo wins tonight, they've solidified their. I don't know if they've solidified the number 1 seed though.
No, the only way they can,
Oh.
if they win today.
I forget the scenario, but
they have the tiebreaker over Kansas City, so they might be able to clinch that.
In my
number 1.
brain, I went to the New England Patriots because somebody, but in my brain it was like, all right, if the Patriots have to go there next week, and then if the Bills have solidified everything, they're going to rest.
Oh, yeah, they'll rest their guys, yeah.
And then if you rest guys, it opens the door for the Pats to sneak in to the playoffs.
To that last spot, yeah.
Right. Which they currently hold. But they have to beat Buffalo in order to solidify it.
I will say this extra week of regular season games and shortening the preseason has made football a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Because you have 3 or 4 teams trying to get that last spot. You have 3 or 4 teams trying to get that number 1 seed for both NFC and AFC.
Yep.
It's becoming a very interesting week 17, 18, whereas
Most
we
of those
just
games
talked about.
matter.
Yeah, where we talked about like where Buffalo is going to potentially sit players. You might not have that happen.
Right.
Like Tennessee did it against Dallas on Thursday, but if they don't beat Jacksonville, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But it's making those Week 18 games a little more competitive.
Tennessee announced today they're starting the backup quarterback in that game.
Josh Dobbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, yeah, because Malik Willis is just he's not
Yeah.
ready. I mean, I guess if that's the trend that NFL is trying to get is that dual threat, but he doesn't have another dual. It's run and that's it. He can't throw. I feel bad for Tannehill because he had a decent career there, and they just got rid of A.J. Brown for nothing.
Yeah.
And
that hurt.
I mean, you can only
can't
run.
replace him.
And you can't run Derrick Henry 35 times a game. It's just unrealistic. So
I have a beautiful Ryan Tannehill
Card.
autographed card
from Miami.
from Miami.
Oh boy,
It's gorgeous.
I still have the Pass Less Need Bills card you gave me.
Do you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Still sitting on my desk.
Nice. I tried selling it when I was at the National, and
nobody wants it.
oh no, it's a gorgeous card too. I'm like,
You got to find
Someday.
a Texas A&M alum.
yeah,
That's where he was from. That's where he played.
it means I have to go to the Dallas card show.
Oh, that
Shucks.
that sounds terrible.
I know, right? Shucks. I'll have to tell you how to set up one of these broadcasts so we could satellite you in. Do you imagine?
That'd be kind
Let's
of
take a look.
Blast.
Here's Foley.
Dude,
a little wireless mic.
at the National would be great, except the Wi-Fi at the National this year in Atlantic City was wholly horrific. You got $1 million of cards sitting around and guys trying to check prices on cards. Couldn't do it.
Oh, jeez.
You're like, I want to buy that. Yeah, but I got to look at the latest comps. Yeah, Wi-Fi's not working.
That's got to make it difficult.
You got a lot of vendors were not happy.
Rightfully
But
so.
this year it's in Chicago, so
Windy City.
giddy up.
Here we
This
go.
will all be end of July.
The Lions Cup.
Nope. End of July.
The Nor'easter softball tournament in late season.
Are you coaching Lions Cup?
I'm one of the assistant coaches. Yeah.
Yeah, because D3 just missed the cut.
D3 was the head coach last year.
He was coach. That's the D3 coach of the year over there. Don't knock him.
Don't look at me, man.
They lost 3 games all year.
So are you coaching? You're coaching the Lions Cup?
I'm one of the assistant coaches.
So you're
Yep.
not broadcasting. 'Cause I know that was the big question from the Lions. Are
Right.
you coaching or broadcasting?
We had the tryouts at NHTI. They were like, so how are you going to do this? I go, Devin has the ability to mic me, which we did
At Castleton.
the last time
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
over there, so which was fun.
Where is it? Is it in Vermont again?
It's in Hanover at the high school. One-day event.
Short and sweet.
Get them in, get them out.
Yeah.
And it's worked fantastic, for it. But I know,
Yeah.
So we'll have to make up.
I was also
Oh boy.
selected as the United Soccer Coaches Small School Coach of the Year for New Hampshire.
Don't clap for yourself.
That's just one of those, you know.
That's pretty impressive.
That was,
Amazing. Congrats.
it was very nice. I was surprised, but very nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I was not selected, however, as the Region 1 Coach of the Year for small schools. That did not happen.
That did not happen.
I went to a coach from Rhode Island.
Lots of award-winning people here,
Well,
right?
Just on that, just
No,
you two,
no.
just you two guys.
Come on here.
No, you got
I'll have to come up with an award.
You
for
got the Corey Halverson Award.
the Revolution United.
And then you have Coaches of the Year over there. I have them just runner-up over here.
You're an
If Monadnock didn't win all those games in the regular season, it would have been a conversation. But the way baseball is, if you go undefeated, guaranteed. Unfortunately,
brutal.
So when
it really is. when you go 15 or 13-2 or whatever it was, or 12. Yeah, no. You walk in, and you're like, nice, I got a chance, and then you look over and Monadnock 16-0. You're like, darn.
So when we might come up for the Lions Cup, we'll put you in the booth with us.
Oh yeah, I'll call
There
it
you
a
go. Look at that.
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because of royalties and other things, he has right to first refusal going forward. But clearly,
You and I could do the games.
I know,
oh,
right?
jeez, wait a minute. How did I just get kicked out?
You could be
Of
the
my own
sideline
company.
reporter.
I
be
have
the-
to produce
I guess you're the
But you
producer.
can walk around with a
with the laptop.
Right, just carry your keyboard, no?
Oh, that's fine. Soccer's like the easiest thing to produce, as you know.
Or you just need a bigger trailer.
That's what I've been saying. I saw it, walked out of a store today with the truck and trailer, and I said, trailer looks too small. Bigger truck, smaller trailer.
Yeah,
I
you,
like it.
you probably should get a bigger one. Yeah.
Yeah. My
Then-
finances don't support that idea.
Then nobody will box you in parking lots if you have one of those big ones, you know?
It's true.
And
True.
you know, look, with the success of this, the amount of sponsorship money you have coming in, come on,
Yeah.
Right.
from companies like
Trade
Elite Sports Academy.
I was going to say,
Aroma Joe's, Dunkin' Donuts.
wait. Are you guys getting that sponsorship money? Because I haven't seen any of that.
I wouldn't say it's money.
Rick Accolano can get you a larger trailer. I'm sure they could
He deals
sneak
with
it.
me enough.
I'm sure they could sneak a line item in there somewhere over at Guilford, you know?
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, I got nothing else. Seriously,
We're good.
I already threw my note sheet away, so
Yes, you did.
we wrote that one off.
All good. It's good to be back. It's fun, as always.
This is your once, every 6 months, so we'll see you in June. He'll be back.
That's how you want to play it,
was-
I guess. You know.
I mean, we saw you, in November? December, we had you here for the first
I can take a
show.
hit.
We had you here for the first show.
Yeah.
He was
And
here
then
for the
just, like-
first couple.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, because he was here when we interviewed
Gracie.
Gracie.
LeBlanc.
Yeah, but that was the first show we did.
No, it wasn't.
Second show.
Yeah, we came in here and there was no people.
Imagine that.
Plus, we did there was like 3 in your camper.
That's true.
It's facts.
So yeah,
That's true. And as soon as we pulled out the video cameras, he just disappeared.
yeah, it was a little while.
Witness
after.
protection program? Wait a minute. Is that?
Witness protection, yeah.
Yeah, let me get on camera.
My witness protection is Belmont High School. It's
Wait,
where
no.
I've been stationed for the last
Wait.
31
I know,
years.
right? Exactly.
Is it, wait
Come
a
and get
minute.
me, I dare you. Now you know the truth. My name is John.
That's
How
why.
you doing?
That's why you came up from where?
you doing?
New York? Is that
I'm a
where?
Jersey
New
guy.
Jersey.
I'm a
New
Jersey guy.
Jersey in the
Listen.
intro.
From New Jersey. New Jersey.
From the rough streets of Scotch Plains, New Jersey. Scotch Plains not a rough town. Sorry, it's not. It's not. Suburbia.
Mean streets of Meredith. For
Yeah,
Dan over here.
literally.
Could add the Main Street of Barton, Vermont. Watch out.
Moving around.
Chase raccoons around. That's how we.
That was your
That's
entertainment.
what, a lot of entertainment
Oh, my
in
God.
the Northeast Kingdom.
Oh, my gosh. Anyways, so again, like I said, coming up this week, boys basketball in Interlakes tomorrow against Mascoma. Then hockey, Laconia, Wiscombe, Interlakes hosting Sanborn Epping. And girls basketball on Friday at Guilford versus White Mountains. As of right now, no announcers for that. Maybe for hockey. Him and I will have our contract discussions after this is over.
Possibly, yeah. We'll see.
Do you have anything Thursday?
Not right now.
Oh, I'm reffing. How about Friday?
Friday's Guilford girls versus White Mountain.
Hold on a minute. Did you
Nice.
notice that?
Wait, I'm reffing.
I was going to say, did you notice that?
He's reffing 4 days this week, and he's here today.
Anything Thursday? Anything Thursday? No. Wow. Well, I'm reffing anyways. See how that works? It's like he gets his hopes up.
Well,
Gets
it's
our
my
hope.
job is to set you up. And
Knock you down.
So you're busy Friday, so
yeah, ideally, I'd like to be in Tampa, but
come on down.
I'm reffing.
He didn't get the invite.
I
did.
get
Oh,
the
did you?
invite. I did. B was super sweet in inviting me and could not do it.
Yeah, but then somebody didn't respond to the invite, so B had to reach out to me and say, "You and
What is
Foley
he
are
doing?
closer. Could you go ask him?"
Closer.
Do you remember that when I called
do.
you?
I do. I think I'm closer to her than I am.
6 of one, half dozen.
Anyways, on that note, I think it's time to end the show. No, but like I said, I'll be out of the state, so unfortunately no announcers. Don't worry, though. The broadcasts are going to be perfect. I know there's a lot of people out there who are like, oh, Devin's not there. No, don't worry. It's fine. It'll be great. And I'm also a helicopter parent, so I will still be... What? Think about it.
I do, and I just still shake my head.
I was going to
But,
say, you know that I am one when it comes to my business.
Yeah.
Nobody
That's
can
good.
do
That's
anything
important.
without me seeing it. But anyways, so yeah, make sure to tune into those games live. For those other teams who are playing who we aren't covering, good luck to you guys in your first week back. And any final thoughts?
Should be a great second half to the season. Much love to B and her future husband on Friday. Haven't met him yet, but it's okay.
He's a great guy.
That's what I hear.
Again,
It's all good.
I was going to say, what was it? We were talking about the wedding, and your first question was, do we like this guy?
Yeah,
It's like
it's fair.
It was like we were her parents.
That's
Do we
I mean,
like
it's
this
a
guy?
fair. It's a fair.
Do we like this guy?
fair question. I mean,
I know people in Tampa.
I got-
other
I got
witness
people.
protection people. Yeah,
It's from a different life, but you know.
trade safe.
Trade saves mean side. Anyways, any final thoughts from this end of the
No, I
desk?
mean, I'll just reiterate what we've talked about so far. I mean, the second half for all the sports that you're covering, it should be another solid finish to the winter season. It doesn't feel like it or look like it outside, but we're in the middle of winter, and basketball's going, hockey's going, skiing is doing the best they can. So
They're making it. They're making snow.
I mean, so
They're making snow.
it's going to be good. I mean, it'll be interesting to see how things shake up over the next few weeks.
It'll be fun watching him on the sidelines of the ski mountain when the snow gun right in his face.
I'm telling you, if we can make that work, I'm in. I'm in.
All right, we're doing it. We'll make this
love
work. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, don't forget that the podcast version of this will be available tomorrow on Apple Podcasts if you'd rather listen to us instead of look at us. Which for some people who have faces for radio,
Which way you leaning there, guy?
I'm leaning towards you.
All right.
Ouch.
I don't know about that, but
Anyways, and as he pulls out his water bottle, this will be the last time you probably see me. Here we are. Anyways, hopefully you guys all have a great week. We plan to be back next Sunday, the 8th, for a week recap of what we covered, and also with the Lake Region schools.
recap the wedding. Nice.
No, oh my God. Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Here's a highlight
We're-
reel from.
we're gonna.
Here's a highlight reel from Brianna White's wedding. Anyways, we hope you have a great week. Good luck to all athletes competing. If you guys ever need anything, reach on out to dppgnetwork.com. I'm always on my phone, constantly checking it, helping out as much as I can. But for Dan and Mike, my name is Devin Ponslesny. Hope you all have a great night, and we'll see you all real soon.